babeerako ekiroga bamotivating eggwanga mwebale nnyo emirimu tukiraba gyemukola. So Crystal is also part of our motivation. What I'm going to do is let's mix and match. Yeah? So maybe let's switch this side. Crystal this side here. Tuleme kubeera nti NRG one space, Bahine one space. Nida.
Douglas.
Wanji?
The man this side, the man the other side. Hey, we are fighting.
Kale Henry. Okay. The next partners I am bringing on are our partners from NBS Television, Afro Mobile, Next Radio, and Senyuka TV. Kansokelo mkulu wa Senyuka TV, bamita Brian Wako, Sansenyo Kulaba, Wako temukubide kubugalo wanyi. Seja wa mani nyo. Wetu walata. Okay. And then of course, my brother MC Casmil, available on NBS Television, a collaboration director NBS Culture. Casmil, you're most welcome. Your husband? Okay, Sheila. Okay.
You've launched.
Wanji? Akola Next Radio. Thank you so much, Makona. Okay, guys, these are part of our panelists for today's discussion. But if you have any questions on this other side, Ojabi Samonze, it's going to be that simple, yeah? Let me take you through the simple house rules. I'm going to lead Bebe to join us. The simple house rules are going to be, each panelist will be speaking not more than 4 minutes. They told me 5, but we're going to use 4. And then, questions and answers session will be happening amongst the panelists. There's also going to be 5 online questions. I'll be taking those up because we are going to be streaming. And by the way, I encourage all of us to stream. In our viewers, streaming. I take a couple of data streaming. And then, of course, the panelists will also ask Bebe some questions. That's also part of the floor today. And then Bebe will also address the media for 3 minutes after the discussion. So you will get a 3-minute session with Bebe so you can ask your questions. And then also Bebe will not enter questions in your session here. So you either utilize the questions through me, or you utilize the session of 3 minutes after the panel discussion, or you may not get Bebe after this. And then let's try and observe some silence. Which now I try to keep it down. So let's all have a great time. It's an open discussion. Let's keep it very professional, but let's not forget Omulamaguri motivation. But first, before even we go to the introductions of who we have on the panel and how they can motivate us, I'll start with you, Casmil. What do you understand by motivation, and how is your journey as a media personality able to reflect this particular?
Yeah, thank you so much, Douglas. Let me also take this great opportunity to welcome all the panelists. I think this is like the first time we're meeting, literally a round table together, and to make sure the unity amongst us. And all the media partners, the bloggers, the streamers that are here, I'll come here and introduce myself. My name is MC Casmil, award-winning MC of the year, I should say. Now, talking about the word motivation, personally, I should say, it's the power to keep going, to me, like the power to keep going. Literally, there is a time where you lose patience in what you're doing. You may not be an MC or TV host, or your businessman, or your photographer, but you don't get business. So motivation to me is the power to keep going, to keep doing what you really love doing, regardless of the circumstances that come, and the blows, the this and that. So personally, motivation is that interest, the power to keep going, doing what you do, regardless of whatever happens, around you.
Thank you. Thank you, Casmil. I'll go to Henry. Henry, a lot of times, we see your fans celebrate you for who you are, for, whatever you have achieved. And every time, people think this journey is a very short journey. And you only can know at nights, you thought you would make it this far. I think, the achievements, the milestones that you've achieved, over time. And you just give thanks and praise to God, yeah? But in brief, what you understand by motivation and how does it reflect to Mr. Henry's career as a journalist?
Motivation is the inner drive, like when you're going up on the way, that keeps you going. I've been in the media for now 12 years, but for me, it is how the story began. I applied at Next Radio when it was still at Kamu, which I got bounced. Yeah, I think Marcus was the PD name. I applied at Capital, I got bounced, and I applied at Galaxy, and I had to wait for 1 year. I'd given up on media. I was doing media up country, and for me, I thought the story maybe had ended there. And I was actually leaving Uganda to go to Germany. I shared this story. I had a German girl, and that's when process that come. But also the challenge, it's not just about speaking behind the microphone. It's also what responsibility are they giving you? We might hear Prim on a morning show, and then tomorrow she's taken to Kenya to do a night show. So if she doesn't have the motivation, she's not going to do it. So for me, I moved from a country where I'm doing a night show, and then they tell me, you have to do gossip. That was being done by a very top guy around town. So I start like that, and then a couple of months there's a reshuffle, and then I have to sit in a big show, a mid-morning show. First of all, you're in an environment that makes you feel timid. Let's say in the next media park, you meet Katz, you meet Douglas, you meet Casmille, you're this couple who has come from the field, and you're like, how am I going to be with these guys? For me, I am a true testimony of motivation. And Douglas, if you ask me, I'll tell you that I've not even reached half of my journey because of the motivation that I have. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Henry. Many of us who are media personalities, many of us have been bounced. Casmille, were you bounced before? No take application in Uganda?
I remember when I was still in school, my journey to the media started from Record TV. Yeah, so I came to Record TV, I did a couple of interviews. They told me, yeah, you're good. Okay, let's call you tomorrow. Tomorrow became another 5 months. But amidst those 5 months, I was like, you know what? Let me use those months to keep, rehearsing myself, elevating myself. And from there, I tried out NTV, T Nation, same story. They told me, don't worry, just give us 3 months. I was like, let me just appear there for, just in the camera, and then Peter just a few minutes, they will never call. I go back, don't worry, you just wait, we're gonna call you. That became another 2 years. Yes. Not until I got my first opportunity at Urban TV, started with a campus show, that was Campus One-on-One. And then from there, the rest was history. Then joined Next Media. So literally it's been a journey. I've been bounced so many times. Being an MC, go in the bar, and of course they deny you the microphone, on and on, but then you're like, no, I'm going to stick around, I'm going to stand here, buy a bottle of water, learn from those who are doing what they're doing, until my time is up. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Casmille. Good to see that we've all not given up amidst everything. Now, Priam, they see this beautiful girl behind the microphone, they think it's nice and easy, you just have to have a good skin, and then Innocent at Galaxy will be like, yo, come and present, and then the next minute you are to Energy, presenting a morning show. How have things been, and what's your understanding of motivation?
Thank you, Douglas. First of all, I've listened to just 2 stories, but hey, you guys have suffered. Jesus, bouncing here, bouncing there. Hard life. But I think for me, I won't say lucky, but I work very hard. If you know me so well, My alarm in the morning goes off at 3:30 and I am out of my bed. Can you imagine? Not so many people can do that. You need a lot of motivation for you to just be up every day. I think that natural drive that comes with why? Why am I doing this? Why am I here? What do I want to achieve is what keeps you going. There is that picture that Zuwana posted the other day. I think it was a picture of Michael B. Jordan. The guy has abs and she was saying, the motivation, the thought of knowing that he's healthy. And you could look at those abs and be like, I want to look like this guy. But can you actually work for it? Do you have the motivation to go for it? You understand? That guy is in the gym like 5 days a week, no rest days. He eats clean. He sleeps maybe 8 hours or more. And here you are standing up every night and you think you have abs. I'm not coming for you, but I am saying everything needs motivation. Because personally, I believe there is nothing as bad as being unmotivated or not having motivation. Because then everything you do becomes very hard work. You have to push. I don't even think there's an employer that would love to employ someone that lacks motivation. Because then you have to keep pushing an individual, which is not proper. So for me, motivation is that natural drive of why am I doing this? I must do this. I must achieve this. You have your goals set. If you want abs, you have a picture of, what do they call it, a mood board of what you want to look like. Put it somewhere in your house. Every morning you wake up, look at it and be like, you know what? I don't have motivation to go to the gym today, but that is how I want to look like. And I'll go do some sit-ups or, I'll choose a healthy lifestyle today.
I want to interject and since you're seated next to a gym person, this army here, this is the motivation we're talking about. Yeah? You and Christopher that would answer this very, very well. What does it take for me? How much effort do you need to get this?
I don't think it's effort. I think it's consistency. Like Prima said, you being able to go and keep doing the same thing over and over again and actually knowing what you want. In the gym, you often find, there's no pain without gain.
They will also add that quotes won't work unless you do. You could wake up in every morning and post something on your status. A quote, is it working for you? If you don't work, absolutely not. You need the motivation to actually get up and go get what you want to get.
Thank you. But in your story, you made premier abonako. Like before Galaxy, what was Prim doing here? At least I woke one.
Tewali nava mchalo naye ebisere ebisinga tulowooza byavudde mukyala baabonabona naye ne mukyalo wali abaana batabonabona sirimangako si. So, I was okay. I'm just saying, you understand? Yeah, but when I came to Kampala, it's a whole different ballgame because there my parents were taking care of me, and then I come here and grow. So that place, Galaxy, that's where I had my first job. And I don't even know what my bosses were thinking to employ me because I was so bad at it.
Behind the mic.
Yes, but I think it takes, practice and knowing what you want because I knew exactly what I wanted to be. And now, every morning on Energy Radio 106.5 FM, I do the breakfast show. And I could tell you, it sounds like the best thing on planet Earth, if you consider. Yeah.
All right, we just waiting for Bebe to join us. He's already here? Oh, okay, cool. Ladies and gentlemen, have the three. They will share with us their motivation stories. But of course, with a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, we have the man who thought it wise for us to have a motivation week. And it's like, we need to inspire ourselves because we have these stories. Ladies and gentlemen, it is big size, Bebe Moses Sali. Omugalo. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Break the Chains from the title of the album is right here, ladies and gentlemen. A round of applause for big size Bebe Motivation Week is what you are joining us if you're watching on Afro Mobile, if you're watching on NBS, if you're watching on NRG, Galaxy. We are here to inspire you with the stories, with our journeys, with everything. And of course, when you look at Bebe Cool right now, like Prima's been saying, there is that consistency, Mr. Henry Javada, that it took for him to have that body. But also besides that, Bebe Cool has also transformed, not just musically, the way he articulates, the way he songa, so it's been work in progress all these years. And of course for him to sit down and say, let's take time off, and just speak about things that add value to us. I'll go back to a post that Jose posted yesterday, video. Can't we just, uplift each other as a nation? And I'm glad that this happened just a few hours, after that video was released. Many times we need this to go on with life, dropping that down. Many people tell us you're not able, you can't make it, you're not good enough, a lot of things. So you need this to keep you, to fuel you to go ahead. Bebe Wachide, we were having their individual stories of careers, hustles, and in that light, for us to inspire other people who want to be like any of these people, yeah? So allow me, let each one of them use one minute, and we'll start this officially. Brian Wako from Sanuka TV, what is your motivation story?
Thank you, Douglas. Let me first begin by defining motivation to me. Motivation could mean a reason or reasons which keep me going. I'm starting from way back at around, that was around 2016, 2017 when I joined media. That was at Red Pepper way back. I was given the chance to be working with them, the likes of the Kasubus and the rest. I found them there as an intern. But of course, it was not an easy journey like how my brother, Mr. Henry, has just been telling us. I applied severally to so many other media houses. Like as we were saying, I don't start with Red Pepper alone. I started way back with the likes of New Visual. I applied at the Daily Monitor. I started like my passion as a photo journalist. That's how it started. Not like Prim, who has just had a simple journey all through.
Prima Kugambye, Prima Kugambye what? Tisimu ni omucha inokubona abona. For you to be successful, yeah. So probably Brian
not like Prim, but most of us look at Akashmi, look at Mr. Henry, look at me. The story is literally the same. The word is motivation, a reason to keep you going. I look at people like Larry King, a guy who did over 90,000 interviews. I've only done 2,000. Yes, every day I keep writing. Every day. I've done like 2,000 interviews. Okay, if you did 90,000 interviews, at around 90 plus years. Okay, by the time I finish media, but also to motivate other people out there. We are stars here, Douglas. We inspire so many others out there, and we want them in the end.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll go to Crystal Pando Msanya Wisakala. So Crystal, give us your motivation story in a minute.
First I want to thank Bebe Cool for this. This is something unique, I've never seen it. And going back to my story, what really motivated me was about losing my mom. I love her so much, and she was the only person that I had, and being the guy that studied for Masaka, so I had nobody that was going to rely on. The only person that was supposed to rescue me was me, so I had to make it. Either if I make it or not, then that's my introduction. So what I did was, when I lost my mom, what I thought about was just going back to school, but she wanted me to finish high school. So what I did, I had to pause everything. I had to look at something that I can do without papers. Because in Uganda, you can't just easily get a well-paying job when you don't have papers. So what I did, I had to look for something that I can do. And what came in my mind It was TV. I started going on NBS Youth Voice. The first time I went right there, I looked at the guys, they were just talking, looking smart and talk. And then I get them out, they get paid. I was like, why can't I do this? But the only problem I had was I didn't know English. So I started teaching myself how to speak. So every day I went. Because those that's a fact. So I had to listen to songs, I could listen to BBC, I taught myself how to be where I am because I had a goal. So what I wanted was to go back and study, but then I wanted money. Then I had to look for something to give me money to go back and study. So I looked at Humphrey, who was working on NBS. I could see him, I was like, I can do this. Every time I go back home after the morning show of NBS, Youth Voice, I could be in the mirror. I could practice every time I could, go back home. So one time I started asking out, NBS to give me a chance, but they didn't. Then they made a good about so they're going to go in TV. It took me 4 years to get a job on NTV. And the first time I got a shot on NTV, it took me 1 year to get paid. I was on probation, I wasn't getting paid. I was staying in Chengda with my uncle. I could walk from Chengda sometimes, and I could go to Serena just to work. But then that really motivated me because I had a goal. And when I got a job, I went back and studied because that's what Mama wanted me to do. So that was my biggest motivation. And when I started doing TV, I laid out a plan. Many guys don't have a plan. When they get a shot like that, all they do is want women, drink and all that. So I stopped myself from drinking alcohol. I've never taken weed. I've never taken drugs, even alcohol. Me, I don't party. There are things that I see my fellows do. I was like, I will never be like that. I want to be different. Being a creative, you gotta be different. For you to be different, you gotta have something that is motivating you, a story behind you. So my story motivated me to be who I am. I didn't forget where I was coming from. Many people do forget, but I myself, I didn't forget. So when I got a shot, I was like, okay, after TV, what next? I got an, started MCing, you guys to see proms. I was like, I can do music. I got the mic, I can use it. I can be the king with the mic. So I was like, I can do everything with the mic. So yeah, I brought him the mic, I went to the sim, now I'm in music. He can talk about me in his list. Now, that is something that I look at like, I'm somewhere right now. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much, Christo. You need to document that story, huh?
I will one day.
Okay. Lastly, ladies and gentlemen, Flora. Flora, you found. And I think most people do not really even know so much about you and your short story. But probably because now we're in the Motivation Week, my Bebe called Flora, go yise mubichi.
I just wanted my mother to see me on TV. I just wanted to talk about artists. Yeah, stuff like that. I used to go back home, watch Urban TV. So when I finished high school, I at university, of course I had to choose mass communication. First year yange nawulira unataka kukolera ku TV. Nengenda ku TV stations ezimu netandikoteka applications zange nengamba I know tebagenda kunzikiriza but let me just go and try until a friend of mine recommended me to my boss Cookie Promotions.
Cookie?
Yes. And atandikire wa Cookie Promotions on a YouTube channel. So when Malao internship had to come in from school, Nengeda ku Galaxy and I did my internship. When I had internship, nengamba wanusivao. Naledera obulebezi paka bwebampa omulimu and I started doing Poko because Henry Yalia elevating he had a show. So Poko Yalia Ogatewali Amukola. So I started doing Poko and that's where I am right now.
Thank you so much. Let's give these guys a round of applause. Amazing stories. I want to commend Bebe because not every day, these are the guys that are behind the microphones and oftentimes they don't get a chance to share these deeper stories. So maybe if you need motivation in life, walk up to them. If you're streaming, look for them. They'll share that story gladly. Now because of time, ladies and gentlemen, Bebe Kurwali, and I want us to straight up dive into our panel discussion. We have to make a huge announcement before 6 p.m., so we have to keep that time. I'll pass the microphone first to MC Casmil. Casmil, what's your question?
Yes. Thank you so much, Douglas. Hey, Bebe Cool Big Size. Thank you for the wonderful music you have given us all the time. Yeah, your music has kept us motivated in whatever we've been doing, for real. Now, the Motivation Week has been buzzing in our ears. Yeah, literally, but everybody could not understand exactly why this idea. Why do you take on this initiative of the Motivation Week?
Well, first and foremost, I want to welcome everybody who's here. Thank you so much for accepting to sit with me and on this panel and digest a few things about Bebe Cool. I want to also welcome the media personalities in this place, and of course my partners, media partners, and the rest of the media, and the Ugandans wherever you are. I hope everybody is okay. So basically, to me, I think my life has been an open book in Uganda. I remember when I was young, I had a dream. I'm born from a family that father lived alone and my mother lived alone. Of course, with the history of people knowing that my father was a politician and my mother was a tailor on the street. So those two financial budgets are totally different, but I grew up with my mother. So as I grew up on this lower side of finances, I saw the good and what I wanted. Everything I admired was on the other side. So I had a lot of pain as an individual because I said, why not live like my siblings and everybody? So it began like that. So the pain that I had inspired me, motivated me to work towards crossing the line between me and the other side of my family. Now, as I grew up also, I am lucky to be coming from Uganda. I'm proud to be Ugandan because, as you know, Ugandans are very resilient people. They're hustlers, they don't stop. So we have that resilience that must be understood in one way or another. We should inspire people or motivate people to understand what motivation means and what motivation can do for you as an individual, as a country, as Africans, as Ugandans, as East Africans. We must allow or push for people to understand the importance of motivation. You have to have something to motivate you in life so that you can move from where you are to move to the next step. So I come up with this idea. Lucky enough, I had always wanted to sing a song called Motivation. But at this point of my life, it's important that I drop statements, I do certain things that can impact massively onto the people of Uganda. So I dropped the statement to one of my writers, joined me, and we thought about so many things during that time. And one of those most important things is coming up with a Motivation Week. A week that comes once every year. And then we also have affirmed that we will have that Motivation Week every after Valentine's Day, where people have to move around and ask. You can ask your family, you can ask your sisters, your brothers, you can ask anyone on the street what motivates you. So that is the week that we're heading on.
So every year, we'll, just the way you have the Bebe Cool list,
Yes.
every after Valentine's Day will be Motivation Week.
Yes, where everyone can ask anyone for their own good. What motivates you? You can have that conversation. Media personalities would be the best to lead this conversation because in that question you can help people find what motivates them.
So oli waba blogger nga yo omulimu gwe gwa kusabula mu Motivation Week emundu aziwumuza.
Exactly.
Flora, obulike. Okay, I'll go to Brian Wako. Brian Wako, kibuuzo ki ky'olina?
Okay, Ogbon Moses Sami, I want you to motivate people out there as an individual, how have you managed to be relevant in this music industry for this long, topping charts for all the time you've been in the music industry over time?
Having a plan was always one. It was my first, most important thing. When you have a plan, it's easy, and you make sure that you stick to it. Okay? So I always had a plan to be one of the best artists in the world. I always had a plan to be successful. Now, the next question is, what do you need to be successful? So as long as your plan is to be successful, then that means that everything you have to do has to equate to success. Meaning, I'll give you a good example. If you want to be successful in life, you can't do drugs. So I put drugs aside. If you want to be successful in life, you have to have a wife or a husband. Get married. When you get married, respect your wife. Have children. Take care of them. Look after them. Educate them. If you want to be successful in life, you have to have friends. Good friends. For you to have good friends, you have to be a good person. You have to sacrifice. You have to care so that people can put an eye. So that all became my point. So as long as you have that plan. So how does Bebe motivate people? The question is, you can see from the pain, from my story, given the bullets, given the bombs, given the hate that had been created on me, which is no longer there, given the misconception that I created, but I persevered through that pain. So pain is what really motivates me. So whoever is watching can use their pain to get out of that bad situation.
Thank you so much. Mr. Henry, yes.
Thank you so much. I think after 25 years in the game, it's only fitting that Rasta really motivates us. But my major interest now, when it comes to motivation, you said you got the word, you got a writer, and I did a song. So, are we having the song today? And what can you tell us about the song, producer, and everything? We are really looking forward to hearing the song.
Let me say that it's a 2-in-1. I'm very lucky that, again, because I had the idea, it happened to come in at the right time. So here comes the creation of the Motivation Week, and here comes the reality that we have written a song called Motivation. So, and that's what I wanted to really look at and inspire people with the sound, because there's continuity that we need. Yes, we have a beautiful song called Motivation on the Break the Chains album, and now we are going into that week of motivation where all partners, friends, people, family can now focus and find out if they have some fire burning inside them, because the motivation thing is fire within you, what pushes you. So yes, there's a song.
So yes, there is a song.
Douglas, Katonanyo,
Yes.
Even Nafe, I will put about Kusanyuka TV. But that's our panelists banangi. But at mixing a muko.
We're running.
Start mixing a muko, even after our travel Kusanyuka.
Okay.
Kusanyuka swimming live.
Okay, maybe can Bebe cool Mr. Richard Ziza Chidemuko ne Uganda.
Kisabwa tukute bulungi nti wetwafuna idea ya Motivation Week ate era ne tusalawo n'okuwandika oluyimba lwa motivation. So motivation kyeki mu Luganda onaali kinyonyodde nga omuliro ogukusindika okola ekintu kyonna okuva mu mbeera embi gy'olimu okudda mu mbeera ennungi. So tulaba nti Uganda nsi yaffe ennungi, abantu be Uganda balina zeal, balina ekintu ekyo munda nti ffe tuli balemeziko bahasla. So naye kyagala omuntu n'abeera nga asobola okubeera motivated mu direction entuufu. So mu ngeri eyo kwe kulowooza nti tuteekewo Bebe Cool n'entandika kye bayita Motivation Week. Motivation Week eno ye wiiki gye weebuuza ng'omuntu kiki ekikusindika munda. Osanga oluusi olw'okuba tolina kikusindika y'ensonga lwaki okyali bw'oli oba bubi nga bw'oli. Naye ate bw'obeera n'ekikusindika, abantu abasinga balowooza nti embeera embi actually embi. Embeera embi eyinza obutaba mbi lwa nsonga nti embeera embi yekusindiikiriza okukola ennyo, okumotivating okukola ennyo osobole okufuuka omuntu ali better. So n'olwekyo nekitusanga nga n'oluyimba tuluwandiise, so ne tukuba ebinyonyi bibiri n'ejjinja limu mu wiiki eno.
Okay, tulina date of release?
Tulina date of release era tugenda kugamba nti ng'ennaku z'omwezi 21 ye Friday eno oluyimba lujja kubeera nga lufuluma oluyitibwa Motivation.
Thank you so much. I'll pass the mic over to Prim.
First of all, I want to say thank you to you, Bebe Cool. I didn't get the chance because you hadn't walked in here. I don't know where you got the motivation to do this, but this is beautiful.
Thank you.
Now, my question is, there are so many people, millions of people that are inspired by Bebe Cool. For some people, it's your music. For some people, it's because, he's a family man. We love how, loudly he loves his woman, Zuena. But then, that's on the other side. Now we have a Bebe Cool on this side that inspires and motivates people. Who inspires Bebe Cool that is inspiring and motivating many other people?
I would say, if you ask me, inspire, I would turn it into who inspires? No, what motivates me? Because the inspiration, I would derive it from my motivation. What motivates me to motivate others? The inspiring, yes, we have always inspired. I can look good, and then I can have a beautiful wife, and you really see that things are moving well for me, and that's the road you want to move. But in general, pain motivates me. Without pain, I cannot move from one place to another. If you notice one thing, I'm going to give you. Remember the hardships. Sit down and write down all the hardships you've ever heard about Bebe Cool. In reality, if I didn't have those hardships, I would not be motivated to work hard to beat them. Now, on the inspiration, yes, I can say who inspires me. Several people inspire me. Several situations inspire me. Successful people inspire me. I make them my friends. I've got friends. I'll give you an example. The president of the country, President Museveni, his brain inspires me so much. So much. Dr. Sudhiro Valeria, major inspiration.
List your friends, Mojulida.
Sagodon Wavamuno, immense inspiration and motivation. I've got the likes of the latest that shocked me, but I was very lucky and happy that he also fell into the basket of my friend. But that one now is a friend of so many of us. I think that's Ham Chigundu. That's the youngest billionaire that we have in Africa. The question was, I asked him in person, how did you achieve this at half my age? I mean, I'm nearly twice older than you, and you're so successful. So those are the things that I look at. I look at the age, the success, the rates, and then I raise I use those to raise my bar. So as much as I can inspire or motivate people, I also have those who have inspired and motivated.
On your list, considering that you are an artist, a musician, I would expect that there would be maybe a name of a musician that motivates Bebe Cool. But it's, the president, it's Sarkodon Mavamono, it is Ham, one of the youngest billionaires that we have. Don't we have any artists motivating Bebe Cool, either because of how they push their brand or who they are as a person?
It's unfortunate that art was a vehicle. Music was a vehicle to take me to my goal. The goal was success. But what vehicle in my plan did I use to get there? Now, as simple as this, I wanted to be a musician successfully. Meaning, if you're a successful musician, you can use that platform to make a good social capital.
Yes.
So when you make a good social capital, I mean friends who matter, who are valuable, who can add something onto you. So that's why, in specific, it wasn't an individual or specifically an artist to inspire me to my success. No. Remember, also artists have different stories, and they are also inspired by their own lives. So it's difficult for him as an artist, because he became big, it must have been the fire behind him. So I also have to discover my own fire, but then make a plan to reach my goal.
Okay. Do you have plans of motivating the president to return to music? Another rap?
I know, I thought that answer was going to two presidents. But now you mentioned the song. Now you mentioned the song. Indeed, I mean, you see, music has now been simplified by this era of young people. Even when you talk, a very productive producer can use the words as you talk and make a song. So I'm very sure the old man will return to music.
Thank you, Rasta.
Thank you so much, Prim. I'll pass the mic over to Christo Panda. Christo, what's your question to Bebe Cool?
My question is about his evolution, and I've seen him as a big artist for over 25 years. I've been following his game ever since I started enjoying music. He has been around for 25 years. So him starting out Gargamel, just like Gargamel in Jamaica, is evolving from reggae, dancehall, Afrobeats. What's the motivation behind that?
Life cannot be stagnant. You can't live in one place, because then it stays boring and not productive. So even when I chose to sing, I knew that fashion of music can change. But the most important thing is to learn how to adopt. So you can see that the moment I started singing, those days it was about Lingala. When I went to Nairobi, it became dancehall, but in Uganda it was still Lingala. When I came back to Uganda, we pushed Lingala out and we brought in dancehall. And then after that dancehall, we brought in Chidandali. So I have been evolving into what the product, the consumer wants at that time. And you can see that right now, that's the same intention. You can see that now it's Afrobeat worldwide. So I'm trying to adopt its evolution. And the best way to win and survive in a country or in life, you must learn how to evolve. Because the weather moves. If it's hot, take off your shirt. If it's cold, put on a jacket. If you need to run, if people are running, run. If people are seated, sit. For you to get paid, if the answer is payment.
So, before I give the mic over, you're in Afrobeats right now. As a young artist who's just beginning, Uganda to Chidandali, and that has been the best line of Uganda music. Now you're into Afrobeats. Will you be where you're working? How I can do better? Because since I album piano, and our piano is training worldwide, and you say you have to jump on the train when it's moving, should we also expect an album on piano?
Definitely. And if you look at the album, if you get a chance to listen to the album very soon, it will be on. There's some piano on the album. As we begin, you must expect the unexpected on the Break the Chains album. But the word to the young guys, we have been there. you have to trust the successful people. You have to. You are lucky that you don't have to dig your own road. For us, we had to dig the road so that we can walk it. But now, all the artists in Uganda are walking a road that has been dug. Okay? So, it's up to you to see who has reached far. And then I will walk their footsteps. Because now I can be walking. By now I expect young artists who are able, who understand, who stream world music, who are informed, who are aware of the technology, to be knowing that now it is Afrobeat and Amapiano that are selling. And now, what do you want to do? Do you want to sell to a smaller crowd, or you want to sell to a bigger crowd? So, it is going to be clear that everyone should now aspire to sell to a bigger crowd. Nothing comes easy. Today it may not work, tomorrow it may not work, but I can guarantee you that after 15 years it will work. The question is, does Bebe still have 15 years? No, the 15 years is for a starter. For me, the test is 2 years. Third year, it will work. Break the chain.
Obuzibu bwa kikono, lwaki kuba ekikono naawe? Obuzibu bwa kikono, onabyogeraga toli biyigize, byogera biyigize, naye obuzibu kikono. Omuntu yawaze enti ekikono mu industry, naawe wooli bakyakubamu ekikono wooli. Baba bakikuba, wali abakikuba naye bw'ogamba nti bano mbayite eno bwenti. Omwana mubuusa ali ku bbala.
Kati emboozi njagala tugifuule ennamba nze naawe ku shoyo. Era njagala ogiyite
Ekikono edition.
Njagala ngikuwe mu detail, nkuwe ne examples, because I'm going to be able to ngenda kukolayo media tour. Era eri ba partners baffe bakwano bange bonna ba media bali mwenna gye muli. Saabatadde bali nti saabayise oba ki, naye ngenda kukola media tour, person ku person, station ku station, tuukirize okulaba nti nno tugatta obubaka bwa Break the Chain album, naddala ennyimba nga zino eziriko nga zina omulamwa lwaki tuba tuziyimbi.
Thank you so much. Lastly, let's pass the mic to Flora.
I want us to talk about relationships. Mami Zuu yabadde ku Twitter na posting anti, besides money, what's that one thing that would motivate you to fall for a man? I want to ask Bebe, besides beauty, what motivates you to fall for a woman?
Obviously, brains, patience. I think, to me, those are the most important. If you have a brain, I'll definitely see how you use it. And if how you use it does help me think twice about what I'm doing, because that's how I made a choice of the same lady. Yeah.
Because you don't know what I'm thinking. Because the head is inside, physical appearance.
The physical appearance tells much a lot about a person. That's why you see when I go out there and work out, okay? When you walk around and see how Bebe looks like, most of the time I hear people say, hey, yeah. So before I even say anything, you'll be able to send out. So that's the first step. Then you say the first word, hi. You would see the demeanor, then the first conversation. I don't need 10 minutes to know that this lady has common sense or has a good brain. I need only 2 minutes.
When you started working out, so when I get there, motivating, I'm not uncle. Alpha, I'm posting a new Twitter and the chief. And when the two are put away, anyway, they're fine.
Of course, beauty. The beauty is a key motivator. Most especially Katifenga in Mufumbo. As we are married, okay? There is no way I would not look at my wife looking nice and I don't get inspired to look nice. Otherwise, the simple thing is, she looks very beautiful, she gets up, she looks at herself in the mirror, and you with your very big stomach, you're still laying down. So when she walks to the bathroom, it is your turn to get up, stand up, walk, look at yourself in the mirror, and sincerely speaking, see if she's telling you the truth. Most women keep telling their men, honey, it's okay. But in reality, she doesn't like it. So for me, her beauty motivates me to become a better looking individual every day. Because as we grow, the most important thing is to keep our family together, and it all starts in the bedroom. Yes, it's so that I actually would want we should have a show that can be extensive. Because my album, Break the Chain, has so many components. So that's one of the components. So I should also have that conversation with you based on the same questions, and we elaborate much more.
Okay, I'm going to pass the mic over to Mr. Henry, just this last round of questions, and then we'll interject, and then Bebe will be setting the 3 minutes that I promised the live audience, and then we'll be closing.
I think everyone has literally asked everything. You've asked about family, you've asked about music, we talked about the evolution, we talked about motivation. We are missing a discussion, but it's about how often this is going to happen and how we're going to be embarking on this journey of motivation, the expectations and everything with this new initiative that we see. The most it was a dream, but I also felt that I could make it happen, to embark on motivating people or helping people to find the reason to be motivated. So I have come up with an idea of having a motivation week every year, and that week will always come immediately after Valentine's Day. So this is a week where you ask people what motivates you. Imagine you, ladies and gentlemen who work on media. That is the most constructive week that you can use to help people come up or find themselves. Because you see, most people would think that pain is meant for crying. No. So that's basically it. Uganda baffe ku Sanyoka TV.
Thank you.
Tujjanga kubeera ne motivation week, ejjanga kujja ejjanga kuba week eyo oluvannyuma lwa Valentine's Day buli mwaka. So nga bwe tubaddenga ne list, era tujjanga kukola promo okutambula all over nga tubuuza abantu ebibamotivatinga oba okubayamba okufuna ekintu ekinamumotivatinga ave mu mbeera kyalimu.
Uncle Bebe, Rido Gabasho, Panda, Flora. But then, Sala.
Yes.
Because we're talking about motivation and fitness and health.
Yes.
It's a request. If you and I can have ours in the gym.
What's your question here?
Then go wait for it.
100% yes.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud to say, when do we begin? Okay, this is my working out schedule. I work out 5 days a week, minimum 4. I work out in the morning, 9 to 11. If I miss my workout in the morning, I have to compensate it at 5 or 6 in the evening. What's your workout schedule?
I do 4 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, I rest Wednesday, I do Thursday and Friday.
So
11 to 1.
Okay. I can fit into 11 to 1. Where do you work out from? Yes, yeah, cut it. Now that one is a dandy.
What's your favorite parts of your body to work on? Because usually men are into upper body.
When I was young, it was the upper body, but now it's the lower body. Lower body is so important because that's where all the energy that applies from the upper body comes from. So of course you can see that I'm now losing on my upper body weight, but I'm gaining a lot of energy in my lower body for purposes of maintaining, being able to carry my weight, being able to be fit. You need, even before you walk to gym, you need the legs. Yeah. So the lower body is so important.
And you see, most people don't understand how important working out is, especially for your mental health.
Exactly.
So perhaps maybe when they hear it from a man like you, they will listen.
I must tell the country that the only way I would have survived the hardships that I've been through in my life, in my music, it has been because I work out. If I wasn't working out, the amount of stress I would have contained or I would have had me dead. Every time I work out and I sweat, I go take my shower, I am extremely fresh, my brain works 10 times faster, I solve more questions after workout, and when I get fatigued, I can't do anything. So that's the difference. So people who don't work out are fatigued. While those who work out, the brain is, actually the science is very simple. The faster the brain, this is what I say. When you work out, blood moves faster. So there's more oxygen going through the brain. So the brain is getting much more oxygen in a short period of time. Then the brain gets, the more activity, or however much you stress it, it will be able to resolve all your issues. Maybe more Uganda. It's a very important question. Workout ekuyamba okujjako stress. Kiri practical. We're working out, omusaayi gweyongera okudduka mangu. Buli lwe gudduka amangu, gutambuza oxygen nayingira brain. Buli omusaayi guyingira gulina oxygen, ogufuluma gunoleseemu. Kitegeeza the more oxygen gy'okompilinga mu bwongo, the more obwongo gye bufuna ekyokulya kirabo kibayita oxygen, ate ne bukola more better.
Ate ndowooza ekintu ekirala abantu kye batategeera, people that don't work out. The industry that we are in, drugs is a very big problem. But then people don't understand that the feel good they get from drugs is, you can get better feel good from lifting weights, but this is a better feel good.
Actually, you can get a better feel good from looking good. Because when you work out, you look good. So when you look good,
Speaking about gym, what kind of food do you eat, Bebe?
At my age, of course, I cut down on eating everything. I don't eat red meat, but that's a purpose of gout. But I do have one meal a day. I have it at 4 o'clock, between 3 and 5. I have only 8 windows of snacking, 8-hour window of snacking. I do intermittent fasting 4 times a week, 16 hours. So if I eat my meal at 4, I will have my breakfast at 8 in the morning. Between then, nothing goes in the tummy. But that is now, because the body has started to wear out. But as you're young, you can be allowed and allow yourself to do things so that your body can be able to exercise its right to destroy those things.
So that will take 1 minute to go.
So I really appreciate the fact that Douglas have these people here. But I also want to ask them some questions. Sure. ate nange obona zembu wandise
Bebe mbadde nsaba nga tetunagenda ku bibuuzo byo tutuleko finances wano katono gwenga omu ku abo abantu abali motivating eri bannaffe abalala ate nga nawe nabakumotivating mbadde tutandisa buluzungu naye nugezako kiza kuluganda eri bannaffe abali kusanyuka tv nti ki financial literacy as a way of maintaining financial stability in your respective fields. What is your take on it?
Pardon?
Your take on financial literacy as a way of maintaining financial stability in your respective fields.
Mu Uganda, njagala ekibuuzo ekyo kibuuze ne mu Uganda kubanga bannaffe bali abasanyuka TV.
Genda kuddamu onsegerere.
Sijja kuba ekibuuzo kiri very important.
Njagala tutunuulire ku ngeri gy'olabamu ebintu ku magezi g'ofunye mu byenfuna oba ebyensimbi mu ngeri gy'okuumyemu ebyenfuna by'okuba nga biri stable oba nga biri wamu mu fields mu mitendera oba emirimu egy'enjawulo egy'okukola as an investor ng'omuyimbi n'ebirala.
Financial literacy kyetwaliise nga wanagamba ebyokusoma ku byesente ku byenfuna, okay, nti okusoma ku byenfuna kiyamba ky'omuntu kyekyalibadde bwe nakitegedde ekibuuzo. Of course okusoma ku byenfuna kiyamba omuntu kubanga omuntu atamanyi atalina idea ku byanfuna tasobola kufuna, kyekisookera ddala. Ate ekyokubiri omuntu atalina idea ku byanfuna tasobola kusevinga. Ekyokusatu omuntu atalina idea atategeera byanfuna akola ensobi okulowooza nti okuspendinga oba okufulumya nsobi. Kati waliwo ebyenfuna n'omanya nti waliwo okufulumya n'okuyingiza. So kintu kikulu nnyo omuntu yenna gy'ali okufuba okulaba nti afuna okuyigirizibwa ku byenfuna. So financial literacy is definitely a very important aspect in everyone's life. Of course, I didn't go to school to study it. I used common sense and experience to understand, but I also used my social capital. I know there are several people I used to disturb so much. Aga Sekalala of Radio Simba is the first person who suffered the Bebe disease of financial literacy because he couldn't understand. Then the second person who has suffered that effect is my wife, who's keeping on asking, Moses, you're overspending every day. Singa saving atwalibadde tukola kino singa naye ate nga nze ndaba spending yange esobola okukola ki okuleeta. But you need to have some literacy. You need to be doing things intentionally naye nga okikoze nga business tiwenfulumya nja kufuna naye ekibuuzo ekiriwo onafuna ddi. Kati awo wali question.
Wow. Neyanza Bebe.
Okay. Wabadde olina ebibuuzo by'abana abantu wetegekedde?
Bano abantu nange nagambye bulijjo mutubuuza ebibuuzo.